Euphoria's least favourite. I had one job. Hemai's least favourite song that he's produced, Euphoria. No surprises, we're joined by Hemai in the studio now. Hello,
good morning.
We're hiding from the rain today on this very dreary Wednesday. Thank you for joining us on the show.
It's a big privilege. Thank you.
So you played one of our shows on the 15th, James?
Yeah,
was it the 15th?
Yes.
Yeah. On the 15th, Biawi was there. It was a fabulous night.
Yeah.
And you and her have obviously released a song together.
Yes.
So how did that kind of collaboration come about?
Well, first and foremost, Beth is a very good friend of mine and only has been for about half a year, I'd say now. But yeah, we just basically jumped in the studio. I went to her gig at the Pickle Factory, I think, once. Like, that was the first time I met her. And a couple of the guys that I work with at Well Overdue introduced us, and yeah, she's a legend. She's sick. I kept running around saying it was the best London show that I've seen to this date.
That's a big compliment.
And I still back that. I think she's amazing live, and so I was just like, yeah, let's make a tune. I was working on this sort of down tempo project, and I was just like, Beth is always the perfect person to get involved. So she just came around, and she like one took the whole thing, which was pretty mad to me. And yeah, we just made it, and I just sort of fine tweaked it and all of that, and then released it not too long ago. Yeah, 2 weeks or something.
She's got quite a unique voice, I feel like. Was that something that was a challenge for you, like to work it out, or like how to get the best out of this with your sound?
Well, you know what, I as soon as we got in the studio, I played her this tune that I was working on. It was just like piano, drums, like bit of effects, and yeah, very bare bones sort of thing. And she was like, "This is the one." She was like, and then she just, as I was playing it for the first time, she just like freestyled over the whole thing, and that was the tune that you hear basically today. And it's all, it was just very natural, and her voice suited the track so effortlessly. So actually, it was like a privilege to work with her voice on that track, because I was thinking, I don't know what would sort of do this track justice, whether it's like, I don't know whether it's like sort of more hip hop influenced or more sort of psychedelic influenced, but she has like the perfect mix between all of them. So it just worked perfectly,
As she calls herself sometimes in her press releases, not to your face, Trip Hop Kate Bush.
Yeah.
It's the best.
So this came together on Well Overdue. What's that label? Because it's quite new, isn't it? Like,
yes, Well Overdue are it's a sub label of a very dear label to me, College Music, and they're basically it's like a UK imprint, and they've done a couple releases before with people like Bert, Nick's Northwest, Baggy, and then myself now. So it's beautiful, and I couldn't think of anyone. I basically had this idea to do like a 4-track, 5-track sort of very down tempo sort of thing, because a lot of the albums that I do, all the projects that I do, tend to be like quite genre spanning in a sense. So I just wanted to do one where it was very much focused on just like one sort of genre. And then I've been influenced by down tempo ever since like I was a kid. I grew up with it. People like 07, that sort of crew, and we just spoke, and we were just like, let's do it, let's just make it. And they've been so sick to work with and stuff.
And so you talk about sort of being very genre spanning, and I think that kind of fits into, you host Jam Night on Sundays at Hootenanny.
I do.
And tell me about, so it's called Hemi's High Time. Like, what's it about? What is that?
It's so it's basically this thing at Hootenanny, which is like one of my favourite venues in London. I done a show there, and they seen me, and they were just like, do you want to host a jam night sort of thing? And I was like super hesitant, because I was like, I haven't really done anything like this before, and also I've never ever attended a official jam session, like ever. So to host one myself for like the first time, I was like, okay, I'm jamming for the first time on stage, and 2, I'm hosting it. So I was just like, okay, yeah, let's just go for it, sort of thing.
Nice.
And
So
I just said yeah. And
so like, there's quite a big, like at the moment, there's quite a big movement of like Ori. You've got Steam Down still going and stuff like that. Do you see your jam as just like a great place to hang, or do you have like some grand vision like those things?
So the one thing that I do sort of hold closely to High Times is that it's very much based around like production and like sonic exploration rather than the sort of, as much as it is the musical side, it's less of that and it's more so just sort of making beats live on stage. So I use like an electronic rig. Everything goes through sort of my sort of tech setup.
So someone can be playing and they don't have anything come out all night.
Well, I mean, it's more so like if someone wants to like loop a sax or something, or like dub out a sax, I do that, or like, and it's very much sort of all sort of on clock as well, so like in sync with one another, using like all technology and stuff. And then people get up and just go off the grid and stuff, like brass players and stuff, and the vocalists obviously. But it's really fun because it's just like the keys player, Buddy Analog, Robbie Moore, will send me like a synth loop, and we'll create a whole track out of that just live on stage. And it's like basically stuff that I'd probably release like as a song that we try to aim to do on stage. So it's really fun, and that's sort of, I guess, why I sort of love doing it, is because it's very much in that world of sonics that I'd usually explore like in my own music. So
and
bunch of fun.
who have you had come through? Like, who are your regulars? Who've been your special guests?
So I've had, I'm trying to think, there's been so many people. One of my favourites was definitely Biawi.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. That was great. Who else? Quinn Alton came through. That was really fun because he can play everything as well. So he just jumped around on everything as well.
His ad thing that he did.
Yeah, he's great. And he's a great friend as well, so it's always fun. And a lot of the members in the house band also play for Quinn as well, so it was sort of like a little family thing. It was really nice. And them two especially really just tick the butt. Victoria Port from Anushka is great. She's got up a lot of times. Junior Williams.
That's cool.
He's
for
amazing.
Established boy.
He's great. He's a good friend as well. Yeah.
He's on the new Lorcana album, I think.
Aha!
Track with Olivia Dean.
There you are.
Coming out Friday.
Junior, big up Junior.
Yeah, nice.
There you go.
Well, from sonic exploration to household pets, I have a question that I'm going to ask everyone on our show.
Cool.
And it's very silly.
Yeah,
so I was chatting to James yesterday about my... I have many lifelong ambitions, it turns out.
Yeah, you've got quite a few today.
I was saying earlier, I really want, before my 30s to own a pot from Botanical Boys opposite us, which is the gorgeous plant shop. So, soon come. But secondly...
Shout out Botanical Boys.
Yeah, absolutely. I also desperately want 2 chinchillas called Gus and Basil.
Gus and
I
Basil.
don't know anything about chinchillas, but I know that I want to.
You know you want to.
Called Gus and Basil.
Yeah.
So my question to you, and I'm going to pose to everyone that comes on the show, is if you could have any pet in the world and you're not allowed a cat or a dog, what are you getting? Ethics, we're not worrying about the ethics of it.
Okay,
just
so
what
like,
are you getting and what's it called?
Okay, definitely 100%. The first animal that came to mind then was a monkey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just because I think you could, I love Planet of the Apes, the film.
Yeah.
The old and new one. And it's if I can get anything similar to Caesar.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I'm gonna get him. Yeah.
And what's their name going to be?
It would probably be something like Benedict or maybe the other side of the pond, like Root. Or something like that.
Okay. Are we thinking a chimpanzee? Because in my head it's a chimpanzee.
No,
Or
yeah.
is it a
It's
gorilla?
more of a gorilla, I feel. It's like a small gorilla.
Just someone that can like hang out on your shoulder.
I feel like.
Swing off
I
you.
think you'd struggle to carry a gorilla.
Yeah.
I feel like a gorilla would be more like a dog, and it kind of follow you around. But if you're wanting a shoulder thing, I think it's got to be a chimp, right?
Yeah,
it's
let's go for a chimp. I'd
go for a chimp that can be your pal.
Chimp called Root.
Right.
Chimp called Root.
Locked in, final answer. You heard it
Locked in,
first.
final
Yeah,
answer.
yeah.
Oh, well, thank you so much for coming through.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
And if you're listening live, then you'll be able to watch this back on our YouTube channel, on our Instagram, all of those sort of things. So don't worry if you're just tuning in. There's still more of this to come. We've still got a clip with Simon Spine to come up, who are from New York, and I caught up when they came over a few weeks ago. But now, we're not actually going to play the Hemai Biawi track, we're going to play her new track, because she's been releasing so much. And this one is called Next Spring.
I gave my heart to you last
Thanks so much for coming through.
It was good with the first sign of spring.
Thank you very much for watching that video. Remember to subscribe for more and find us at Pretend Online on all the social media channels you can imagine. You can also find out more about our events and all of that good stuff. Just sign up to our mailing list and you might even get some free entry to our club nights.